let's say you want to save 2 million naira monthly to buy a house of 120 million naira, for instance, and you are saving 2 million naira monthly. So it's going to take you about 5 years, that is 60 months, to be able to save up to 120 million naira, assuming you are saving 2 million naira monthly. Now, the bad news is that at the end of 5 years, the house, which was previously valued at 120 million naira, will not be valued at 120 million naira anymore. So it must have appreciated from 120 million naira to something obviously higher. So I want to show you how you can leverage on land banking to be able to solve this issue and ensure you are still able to afford that property, consistently saving 2 million naira monthly. Join me while I show you how this works. So we said that you want to save 2 million naira actually monthly, and you're going to save 2 million naira for 5 years. 5 years is actually 60 months, right? So if you save this, it's going to take you 5 years to save 120 million naira, assuming you want to save 2 million naira monthly, right? So at the end of 5 years, you'll be having 120 million naira. After 5 years, assuming you're saving 2 million naira monthly, you'll be having 120 million naira, right? Now, if this young man decides to actually look for a reputable real estate company or a real estate firm and begin to invest this 2 million naira monthly, right? So that means at the end of 5 years, you must have gotten about 60 plots of land valued at 2 million naira. So if you begin to buy property, instead of just saving that 2 million naira in the bank, this young man decides to now, or you decide to now, acquire properties with a reputable real estate company, right? And at the end of 5 years, you now have 60 plots of land, right? Now let's assume that at the end of 5 years, you now begin to decide to sell, let's say you decide to sell 55 plots. You decide to sell 55 plots of land. Now, take into consideration that at the end of 5 years, some of these properties which you bought at 2 million, some of them must have 2 times the price in appreciation rate, right? So some property you bought 2 million might be selling at 4 million, some might be selling at 6 million, some 8 million, some might not have appreciated, so they'll be selling at 2 million. So let's take that in an average, at the end of 5 years, the properties in an average has appreciated to 4 million. So the property has appreciated to 4 million. So what that means is that if this young man decides to sell 55 plots at 4 million each, right? At 4 million naira each, this would now be 220 million. So he now has 220 million. Remember, if he had just been saving 2 million naira in the bank, this value would not, what he would have gotten was 120 million naira. We said that this guy now has 220 million naira. If he decides to sell 55 plots, remember he has 60 plots of land, which he bought at 2 million naira each. Now he decides to sell 55 plots and still reserve 5 plots. And we said that in an average, we assume that each plot of land has appreciated to 4 million naira, averagely. Remember, some might be more than 4 million, some might be less than 4 million. So we said averagely 4 million. So he has 220 million naira, right? Now let's assume that he used 1 year to sell this property. Remember that real estate is not a high liquid product. What that means is that it's not something you can easily convert to cash easily. So let's assume that he used 1 year to sell 55 plots of land and got this. Now let's assume that in that 1 year, while he was selling 55 plots, he kept on saving 2 million naira, right? He kept on saving this 2 million naira which he has been saving. So 1 year is about 12 months. So in 12 months extra, he has 12 months times 2 million, which is 24 million, right? So at the end of 6 years, that is 5 years of saving 2 million naira, and the additional 1 year of saving the extra 2 million naira, this guy is going to have 220 million plus 24 million, which will now be 244 million naira. So we see that at the end of 6 years, this guy now has 244 million naira. This is how you can leverage on the power of land banking. Instead of him having about 120 million naira or about 160 million naira in 6 years, this guy is now having about 244 million naira, leveraging on the power of land banking, this is the least he's going to get. Remember, I said some might be more, some might be less. So assuming that he even has taken an average of 5 million, reselling the property as an average of 5 million, he's also going to get more than this. So this is how you can leverage on the power of land banking to beat inflation. And this young man can still be able, or you can still be able, to afford that choice property of yours, which was valued at 120 million naira. So whatever the case may be, you will still be able to afford this property. So this is the power of land banking.